What part of Nebraska is a lot? I should be fine. Like, I'm not really. Maybe it's all your okay, good. Oh, yeah.
All right, teams. I'm really excited that you guys are chattering and like getting to know each other better. It makes me very happy. So, we're gonna get started here. Today will probably be a little bit of a shorter class because we have had some stuff fall off the syllabus. So we're gonna do campus and community spotlights, do some shout outs. We're gonna have these guys do their What's Up presentation. The What's Up presentation is the first presentation that orientation leaders give during the summer. It is a little bit less traditional. You usually don't have like a PowerPoint or anything like that, so it's a little bit more informal, which is nice. So these guys are going to do an example for you. We're going to give you an outline, and then we're also going to upload this to D2L so you guys can watch it back later. So you have a few different points of reference if you want to make sure that you're checking all your boxes by the time that you do your outlines. We are going to also review the expectations letter. That's included in the What's Up presentation, but we'll also give you an example of it so you know what students typically agree to when they come to campus. We're going to talk about the third day shirt designs and then our 2 assignments that are kind of coming up here. And then we have 2 snack packs today since last class we ran a little short when I did to hand out snacks. And I will say I just went to the bookstore and they're pretty good snacks there. Cool. So with that, campus and community spotlights. I think the big announcement of the week, at least in my world, was that the academic calendar for the upcoming year was announced. So if anyone hasn't heard, the start of class is going to be Wednesday, August 18th. So we are starting early again. We are going to be hopefully finalizing orientation dates in the next few days, working with Residence Life because they're determining their move-in day plan, if it's going to be a single day or if it's going to be an extended move-in again. So we're working with James Tobin and Jeff Bondi and their team to determine that. And then that will finalize all of our orientation dates as well. So we're gonna get those to you guys ASAP. But to give you a better idea, we are gonna get back to a little bit more of a traditional schedule come next fall. So they do have Thanksgiving break built in again. And then they have the semester concluding early December. Commencement is on a Friday, question mark, which is unique. So I'm very curious to see how that all comes together this year. But for anyone that's maybe graduating this semester, you know, exciting stuff. Or I guess 2 semesters from now, exciting stuff. And then if you also ever want to reference back, it's in the catalog, so you guys can look back at those dates as well. Does anyone also have any other campus and community spotlight? Chris Tim.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now, there's a service Saturday, Saturday morning on February 6th.
Does anyone want to talk about what service Saturday is?
Yeah, so Service Saturday is like, I think it's Saturday, depending on like when the semester starts, that the school like throws on different service projects you can join. It's a great way to get some community service hours. I don't know if that counts as in-services. I asked Lindsay to ask you, but she didn't get back to me.
Yeah, because one of them is basically doing like a campus or community event. So yes, Service Saturday would fulfill that as long as you then wrote your paragraph on it.
Very cool. So there's that.
So you can all do it together also, and that would be your group project and a service Saturday and your in-service. What cute bonding.
What was the date of that again?
February 6th.
February 6th.
You have to always.
Oh, that's
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
RSVP.
And there's one every month. So.
Every month.
Well, we'll see.
Hopefully every month. Traditionally every
Well,
month.
they had it last semester every month.
Yeah. So I would think they would.
A Christmas. Sorry.
Other campus and community spotlights. Yeah.
The last day to add a class was the 25th. By the way.
Nice. Emma works in the registrar's office, so the last day to add a class is the 25th. So that's actually sneaking up. That's a good point. We talk a lot about add drop dates in orientation, so that's something you're going to become a little bit more familiar with. But if you're looking at adding any classes, do it sooner rather than later.
So we want to drop the spot.
No, Chris. Other campus and community spotlights. Lila.
The DISC has a mentorship program called AIM, and we need more mentees or mentors if you are interested. So if you're looking for a mentor or to be a mentee, contact me or sign up online on Cats Connect. Use this.
Cats Connect is where it's at. Do your service Saturday and become a mentor or mentee. Anything else? Any shout outs? Yeah.
I want to shout out to Lila, who she gave a presentation to your prospect students about this yesterday.
Did you? Through admissions? Like they organized it? Oh, I love to hear that. That's awesome. Shout out, snaps. Yeah, oh, there it is. I was in a sorority, so it comes out every now and then. Yeah. Other shout outs. Okay, cool. And with that, I'm gonna turn it over to our coordinators. They are gonna give you guys their what's up presentation. Yeah, you get it. With that, what do you wanna hand out first? Oh.
All right, so the way we're gonna do this is I'm gonna kind of give my what's up to you guys, and then Bree is gonna kind of explain what I talked about. So yeah, while Shannon's handing that stuff out, we can get going. So just a little bit about what the what's up is. It's pretty much the first presentation that you're gonna have with your students, as Shannon mentioned before. The first presentation in this class that we're gonna have, like with your small groups or with peers and all that, is January 26th. It also says that everywhere, so hopefully if you don't forget, it will remind you. And it's due to us on February 2nd, at least your outline. And something with the outline that we want you guys to continue to do is keep adding to it as the semester progresses. So as you learn more information, continue to add to it. And obviously things are gonna change, so keep changing things, adding stuff, all that. So it's pretty much setting the stage for orientation. You don't wanna, you wanna find this nice balance, like Andrew said yesterday on Tuesday. You have to find this balance between peer and also leader, which this is a great place to set the stage. And also it's setting out expectations, which is in that white paper that you're getting. That's the expectation sheet that students get and they have to sign off. And yeah. Hey guys, my name is Lindsay. I'm your orientation leader today. And just a little bit about me. I'm a microbiology major with a minor in psychology. I am involved with a variety of things on campus. So if you have any questions about anything, please let me know. I am a campus tour guide. I'm also a student ambassador for the admissions office. I'm also involved in several clubs on campus like Dance Marathon, whoop whoop, and Alpha Lambda Delta Honor Society and Alpha Epsilon Delta Pre-Health Professions Club. So any questions about anything like that, please let me know. So the reason why I became a leader, my leader was actually, her name is Erin. She was also an orientation leader when I was an orientation leader. And she just made everything super fun. And I really wanted to be that face for students as well. So here I am for all of you. You're a little fun orientation leader with a big smile on my face. I also wanted to help students who had the same concerns as me, so people who were nervous about their future, who didn't really understand what college was, who also didn't really know what they were doing, all that fun jazz. And so my goal for all of you is to feel as comfortable as possible throughout this experience with registering for classes, with making new friends, all of that. Just feel comfortable being on campus because you're wanted here. Your professors want to help you, your friends want to be your friends, people in this group want to be your friends. And some advice that I give is just go with the flow, I guess. So if something didn't necessarily go your way, do your best to shift your perspective and think about it in a different way, because you can't be straight on the whole time. You have to be flowy with your ideas, you know? Something that we're adding now actually is the COVID, as you can see. I don't have that from previous years, but we will explain it a little bit as we get to that part. And then the icebreaker. My icebreaker is actually a rock, paper, scissors tournament. So we don't have to do that now, but so you play rock, paper, scissors. If you win, the person who lost has to follow you around and you introduce yourself each time you meet a new person in your group. So like Chris and I would go, I'd be like, hi, my name's Lindsay. Hi, my name's Chris. Rock, paper, scissors. He'd lose, obviously. Come behind me, and then I'd play somebody else. Whoever was behind them, they'd come behind me. There should be one person with a group of like 15 people behind them. That's how you play that game. But yeah. So yeah, as you can see, I covered all of those things practically.
And so when you're like writing your outline, this is what you see on the paper that we gave you, but we want you to pretty much like kind of type out like
Yeah,
so,
I have like
write out who you are, like what your hobbies are. It's kind of like a speech. So like you write out a speech, or you can like bullet point it. It really doesn't matter the format, but you just want to have like those talking points, so you don't have like these bullet points. Like you actually have stuff written down. And like write down an icebreaker, like write down why you became a leader, like write down what the goals of like.
yeah. Cool. So now pull out your little bags, and in your bags you're gonna find multiple different types of papers, and a little name tag, it's plastic name tag. You're gonna keep that for the whole day and the whole week. You don't get rid of it. Don't throw it away. That's yours to keep until you turn it back into me. And then all of these things on these papers. So the RAR, which we have an example of, and we'll show you, all of you. But that has your net ID. So your net ID is what you use to log into all your computers. Also has your ACT and SAT test scores, math placement, any kind of college credit that you have, and also has the orientation schedule, the student booklet, and a lanyard for you to keep and to hold on to. And make sure to bring all of this stuff with you wherever you go, please. I'm begging. Take a picture of the stuff if you need to. Don't lose it. I'll lose it if you lose it. You hear me? Yeah? And then make sure that you're staying within this group. So the importance of this group, not only with COVID, but also these are the people that are going to be in your college. So you're going to want to know these people, make study groups, get their numbers, get to know them, because you'll see them around campus all the time. And now with COVID as well, you don't want to be intermingling with too many people. We have specific places for you to be, all that fun jazz, which I wouldn't have said before, but I'm saying now. But yeah, again, the RAR sheet, I was told by Shannon, isn't necessarily going to be, right, this next summer?
Yeah, so we have an example of a RAR that we can pull up for you guys. I don't think that works.
We love the RAR.
Let's just do it. Oh, okay. Sure. Okay, so this is traditionally when students check in a RAR, which stands for Registration and Written Advising Report. That usually has where you can see like where it says name and ID blank. That's usually where it has their name. It then has their student ID, so the one with the dash and all of the numbers that follow it. But then you're also going to see how it has the net ID spot, so it has both there listed out for them. Incoming students have a really hard time identifying the difference between a student ID and a net ID, and so that's something that we work a lot with them on. So this is usually where they can see both in one place. It also lists out for them their major. When students traditionally have come to an in-person session, they often have changed their major as well, but this is what we have as their incoming major. And then it has their writing placement and their math placement. We'll talk a lot about writing placement and math placement in the upcoming sessions and how students get placed into those levels, but this is a place for them to refer back to if they forget, like, oh, I'm not sure what level of math I'm in. It also will show out there any college level credit, and then it will show them how to log into CAT course. We'll also have their registration time. So you guys can see like June 14th, 2017 at 10:15. That's huge because traditionally those registration times vary. So some students get to register at 8 a.m., some students get to register at 11. So that's gonna be huge because that's when you tell them to actually show up at the registration labs. And then usually it also then has their registration PIN. So basically, once they get through all of these pieces, what PIN do they need to enter to physically register for classes? That's listed out on here as well. So this is how we have done it in the past for like years and years and years and years. For this summer, for online orientation, we taught them how to log into DegreeWorks so they could view all of this same information, but just in an online platform. We are exploring some hybrid options of having this form and DegreeWorks available to students, but we'll keep you updated because these are pretty much the most important pieces that a student needs to register for classes.
Sweet. So next is the parents and development expectations letter. So the letter you guys have, we will read the bullet points and popcorn read. So just so that you understand what you're doing and we all understand what we're doing here. And then sign the contract, which, you bring it back
Do you want to review the expectation letter? Let's go through it.
Go through, okay. You can go. You have it.
Do we actually have a popcorn read?
Yeah, are we gonna read it?
Yes, and popcorn reading.
Popcorn read?
We can popcorn read.
What? Yeah.
Okay, cool. And this is also a good time for all of you to also, okay, so when you popcorn read, say your name for everybody. And then so I'm gonna start with Chris.
Unbelievable, okay. Dear new students, we are pleased that you are here for summer orientation. We have an excellent program for you and know from the past experience that orientation will have a substantial impact on your success during fall semester and your future as an MSc Monterey State student. Platform, Tristan.
Go through it because part.
Just go to the bullet points.
Okay. Hi, I'm Tristan. It is expected that you will attend all sessions as directed by your student leader. He/she is an experienced student who has a good academic record and has been given extensive training in academic information you need to know. Ask questions and learn as much as possible.
So that's a big thing. When they come in person, everything is required. If they came to visit and they already went on a campus tour and they're like, I want to go hang out with my friend off campus, nope, everything's required if they're here on campus.
I'm gonna go, Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. Getting enough rest is essential. The residence hall doors will be locked at 12 o'clock midnight each evening.
Lila.
Orientation students are required to stay on campus for some orientation sessions. If you must leave campus, must check in with the orientation leader before leaving and return.
Rachel.
Inform your student leader if you are sick, injured, or otherwise unable to participate in the program. All medical emergencies will be handled with those who leave this hospital.
Julia.
Drinking, use of drugs, bringing alcohol to the residence halls, leaving after hours, returning late, or not returning at all are considered serious offenses, and your student leader will refer to all violations to the director of orientation and/or dean of students for appropriate action.
M.
Montana State University is a tobacco-free campus, which means the use of tobacco is prohibited on the MSU campus. For the purposes of this policy, tobacco is defined to include any tobacco product, including cigarettes and all forms of smokeless tobacco.
Warren.
Students are held responsible for adhering to the regulations outlined in the Montana State University Residence Hall contract.
Jen.
Your room will be used immediately by others following your departure. Please follow the proper checkout procedures described by your student leader. You will be charged for loss or damage to you as well as any damages to your room. Do not keep a table or sugar classes to be served quickly.
Trisha.
Failing to adhere to the above expectations in your mobile library of disciplinary action, including a meeting with the students, consultation of parents, and the letter calls, withdrawal from the orientation program and or the residence hall for the semester, as well as losing the privilege of early registration for classes. Please don't serve university discipline workers now.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I would always tell my students that like orientation is like 3 days long. So I would say like if you can't hold off on like not following to these for like 3 days, then like you shouldn't be here. And I always used to like scare them all.
I would also say, I mean, this is my own 2 cents, but you guys can, deem whatever is most appropriate for you. I think it's easier to be more authoritative at the beginning of orientation when you're reviewing these rules and take them really seriously, and over the course of orientation become a super fun orientation leader, right? Like if you're joking around, you're being their friend so much when you're reviewing these rules, they're not going to take them as seriously. And so we really try to encourage our orientation leaders, especially when you're reviewing these expectations, to really drive home the point that this is the start of their college career. And it becomes a little bit easier for you to loosen up over the course of 3 days after they understand the expectations of what it's like to be a student.
And also something that I have written down here too is that I have it word for word. I'm not your mom. Like I'm not here to baby you. This is your deal. Like you're an adult. It's your responsibility to understand this contract. Like it's not on me if you mess up. Like it's not my fault if you don't follow this rule that you signed. So it like Shannon said, that was something really easy for me, especially was like getting nicer as the days go on, or even the hours. Just that first meeting, you just have to set the stage. You had a question.
Yeah, out of curiosity, which rule was broken was?
I never had any of them broken.
Students try to leave campus a lot.
Yeah, that is something I did see a lot on rounds. And I'd go slash their tires or something. So I wouldn't. Okay. Do you guys have any questions about anything? Yes.
I'm just adamant this contract. Whenever I did this, I would say number 5. Just
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have it on
Like, as a leader, did you say that one? You can use those authoritative with it.
Yeah. And that should be on the outline that I gave you. It says read number 5. So that's important to do. And yeah, I think we're good there. Okay, cool. So the contract signed. We bring it back to the coordinators at lunch.
Oh yeah, there's a sheet that you'll get that you pass around.
Yeah. And then phone usage, which is something pretty important. I expect you to be respectful to the presenters, not be on your phone during the presentation, and it's just common respect and common courtesy to people who are taking time out of their day to give this information to you. So please be off your phone. And if I need to contact you, I will either text you or we'll use GroupMe as a group. So being on time is super important because I want to get good seats in the sub. And if you're late, we have to sit all the way in the back and it's boring back there. And so please be at least 5 minutes early. That would be great because again, I want to find a good seat. And also it helps me learn your names a little bit better. We can chat, we can all hang out a little bit more. And then we'll go over the schedule, which we did the other day, which I'm sure we don't need to do again, but yeah, over the schedule. Again, you can't leave campus. Please don't leave campus. And for me, check-in is at 12:03 a.m. If you don't text me by 12:03 a.m., I will knock on your door and wake you up. I did that a few times, actually. I had to knock on their doors, and I was like, hey, are you alive? You didn't text me. And also the coordinators will text you at 12 o'clock or 12:05 to make sure that you send in your information, that you have everybody and everybody's safe. But yeah, something that I found really handy was picking an obscure number to check in at. So like 12:02, 12:03, 11:57, like check in at those times. It helps them remember it a little bit better so that they actually do it. Also sending reminders throughout the night to check in is always handy. But yeah. And then the next, I think that's, yeah. And then just some more reminders. Please make sure to bring all your things. Don't be late. Hang out, get to know everybody. Make sure that we meet at that tree over in front of Leon Johnson Hall at 12 o'clock after lunch. And you have my phone number, so call me. Beep me if you want to reach me, as Kim Possible says. Whoop, whoop. And then we go off to lunch. Thank you for the single clap. Thank you, appreciate it. Do you guys have any questions about the presentation or what it looks like? I know I kind of went through it fast, but
That's honestly how it goes.
that's really, yeah, it's really not too painful.
The thing that like takes the longest is probably your icebreaker.
Yeah. Cool. We'll move on to the next thing.
Will you guys also pass out the booklets?
Yeah.
So we have 2 student booklets here. You don't get to keep them because they're massive, but this is traditionally when they come in person, all of the information that they receive. And then they also get the other additional stuff in their check-in packet, like their schedule, the expectations letter, that kind of thing. So you guys can take a look at those, kind of flip through them. We do have some of this information available to students online as well, so this is a lot of the stuff that you're going to be reviewing throughout the semester.
And then I'll go ahead and pass out this same format as your other assignments, but this is just the what's up assignment. So basically, you're gonna write down what like Lindsay said, but like in your own format. And then we'll go over them in class on the 26th, but then the actual link is on the 2nd.
Did you post that on Facebook?
We will.
Today I did not get to it beforehand because I'm having a wildly confusing IT problem with my computer. I was on the phone with IT people for the last hour, but it will be up. So yeah, I think the biggest thing when it comes to that assignment, just to really echo what these guys said, is that you're gonna write out all of this information as if you were speaking it to someone, right? That's what your outline should be. So when you're looking at this, it's already a page and a half. So by the time that you add in all of your details, examples, personal stories, where your icebreaker would be, your outline itself should be far longer than a page and a half. And as they said, you might add these things. Next class, we're going to practice kind of presenting some of this information, getting a little bit more comfortable presenting to small groups. I understand that this might be your first time public speaking in front of other folks. That's why we're doing it in small groups, and really just making sure that you guys feel a little bit more comfortable with some of this information. But as we go through, I think it's going to be really good for you guys to ultimately practice with each other, because by the time you actually get in front of students, you get less feedback than you think. They might be a little bit quiet, right? So you have to kind of pull it out of them. You have to be comfortable with it. And more information is better. So any questions about those outlines or what what's up looks like? Yeah.
So are we practicing presenting next class, but do the class with them?
I believe so. Okay. Yes. If I remember from the syllabus correctly. The outlines itself are due February 2nd. And I believe next class we're practicing in small groups. Whoa. Here we go. So with that, when you guys are practicing, I understand that you're going to be like, you just heard this information. But that's why you have the outline. That's why we're uploading this video. You can look back at all the different materials that we gave you and become a little bit more comfortable over the course of the next week. So by the time you put in an outline, you've already kind of practiced it a few times and you can make some edits too. Third day shirt, Holly Dog. Okay, so we are still moving forward with planning for in-person orientation. So what goes along with that is dress code for orientation leaders. So first and second day of orientation, we give you guys like an MSU orientation polo that you wear. And then on the third day, you get to wear this really cool third day shirt. So this shirt is traditionally designed by a group of people in this class, and then it aligns with the theme of the class for the summer. So this year it's Bobcat Boot Camp. So our shirts will do something like that. Past years it's been like Harry Potter, Dr. Seuss, things like that. So they're really fun. If you're interested in being part of the design team, just stay back after class for like 30 seconds so I can write down your name, and then we'll figure out a time. Give me a question. So if you, yeah, Alex, are we gonna do nicknames? Yes. Oh yeah. So nicknames are on the back. Just sometime throughout class, we'll figure out nicknames for everyone, and then you'll kind of have them on the back like a jersey. Yeah, so, to give you guys, as you look at this photo, Mitchell, who is a returning orientation leader who's in this class, but he's enrolled online because he has a time conflict, is the one in the front here. He's nicely sorority squad, like modeling. That's the polo that we've been using for the last 2 years. We are gonna design a new polo for you guys. The polos are on us. We provide those to you guys just as an employee of our office. The third day shirt does have an expense to you guys. It's very cheap though. It's traditionally between like $10 and $12, and we try to keep it as cheap as possible. But it's kind of a fun way for students to feel like they're a part of the team. It's a unique shirt. I would wear my shirt multiple times. Bree is actually wearing her third day shirt from last year, 2 years ago?
No, this was my first year.
First year, so it's like Looney Tune themed.
I have my one from last year.
She brought her other one.
Very sweaty.
And then they get a nickname on the back. The nicknames are usually,
Mine was a partner nickname, which is why it says but okay. It's weird flex, but okay.
weird flex, but okay. You get a nickname basically just like as you guys as a group get to know each other a lot more. You hear like funny stories, you kind of understand each other a little bit more, and then the nickname is just usually stems from that. Mine when I was a student was SNL because I did a lot of impressions all the time. So it's like I was on Saturday Night Live. So kind of fun, but ultimately we, as Holly mentioned, have a group of like 3-4 students that are kind of excited about like graphic design or shirt design, or just usually really passionate about what they wear. And so they volunteer to be a part of a group that helps us out. Anything that like returners want to add or any questions about that? Excellent, easy enough. All right. I will also mention, you'll see Mitchell there is wearing a nice little name tag. We get a name tag for you guys too that has your name, your hometown, and it usually says orientation leader. So we're going to be ordering those again pretty soon here as well. All right, so in terms of assignments, the elevator pitch is due by next class, so next Tuesday. That's where we want you guys to submit that photo of yourself on D2L. All of that stuff is already up. The What's Up presentation I'm going to upload today. And so you guys will be able to upload your What's Up outline. For our returners, I do want you guys to look at your outline, update it for what makes sense, make sure that you have any edits over the years. Especially with COVID, like there probably are a lot of things that have maybe changed that you want to add in there, or new experiences that you've had that you might want to share. So that presentation is going to be due on the 2nd at midnight. And then just as a reminder, we gave you guys those returner groups. The reflection is going to be due on the 4th. I've gotten just a few questions about the returner groups, like how are you guys connecting or whatever. We gave you guys that contact sheet, so feel free to like start a group message. You can all add each other to WhatsApp. You guys can all email each other if you want. I really encourage our returners to be the one to kind of take the lead, say like, hey, this is usually what we do, or usually how we communicate. You guys can kind of be our OGs and be our veterans, if you will. But these are some of the things that are kind of on the horizon, I would say, for the next 2 weeks or so. I think you had a question.
Yeah, it was about the WhatsApp presentation. Are there specific things we need to include about COVID in our outline?
Yeah, so I would say for this first initial round, no. By the end of class, where we have that like portfolio that you're gonna want to turn in, yes, we will want to see that updated. I'll probably dedicate a whole class to talking about COVID procedures and what to expect, especially in the summer. We do have residence life coming in right before the semester ends. And so they're going to give us a huge update as to like, this is what it's going to be like for staying on campus throughout the summer months too. So we can update all of that as the semester goes. I mean, if there are obvious things that you would like to add, like by all means you can. So like we're trying to keep our campus as safe as possible. We are always keeping our students at the forefront of our decisions. We're trying to make sure that we're using hand sanitizer, washing our hands, wearing masks. Other questions? Cool. With that, I don't have too much else for you guys today. We have 2 snack packs. Who won last time? And nice. Come on down. We will do a snack pack, we'll do 2 snack packs, and then you guys can get out of here about an hour early. Stand on up. All right, got the full room.
Sit down if you haven't drank water today.
Jesus.
Oh, good, they're all sitting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, everyone's really hydrated.
Oh.
Sit down if you skipped a class this week.
Anyone want to admit it?
It's
you
yours.
guys.
Stay standing if you've gone to professor's office hours this semester.
Nice! You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ooh. I'm trying to think. I don't know what happened in school. Sit down if you would never wear toe shoes.
What's toe shoes?
Like if you would wear toe shoes, say standing.
Oh, for like one more long.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Toe
Okay, you got one. There you go. Chris would wear toe shoes. Everybody know. All right, so you're gonna keep that one, but then you get this. Okay. All right. Stand back up, yes. Snapping, snap, snap. I can't even talk.
Alright, stay standing if you've gone to the gym this week.
Gone to the gym. We lost a lot.
No.
COVID's hard, am I right?
Stay standing if you've had a regular sleep schedule this semester.
What?
You've had a regular sleep schedule. Wow. Wait,
Okay,
everyone?
You got 4.
I got 4? Okay. Stay standing if you've earned champ change this week.
2.
When you earn champ change if you
Go to the gym. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's all semester.
So if you've been to the gym, you've earned it.
Yeah,
Now you have to-
that was this week.
That's so
Okay,
The more you know.
stay standing if you're fully caught up on your assignments. Okay.
I was gonna say, should I check who's turned in what? You got 2.
Oh god. Stay standing if your phone's above 20%.
They both are looking. Both are standing.
Stay standing if you've been on campus for more than 6 hours today.
Been on campus for more than 6 hours?
I think we're both working.
There you go.
God damn, I don't have any left.
Stay standing if you've already submitted your elevator pitch.
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you back next Tuesday. Make sure that you turn